popping away over here. Oh my gosh, I chose that theme music because we're going to talk about gamification today. And so, does that soundtrack put you in the mood of like being in the arcade playing pinball? It sure got me in the mood. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to the hashtag happy half hour. As I say that now, I realize that I need to change it up because our shows have not been going for a half hour. That was my first intention to do half hour show segments each week. But the conversations have been so meaningful. The guests have been amazing. The audience participation has been off the charts. And so it's been going for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, more than an hour sometimes. And so I'm thinking of renaming this. You guys ready? Welcome to the hashtag happy laugh hour. Because I want to make sure that you get your laughs in for the day, for the week, etc. So this is where you can bring your own favorite beverage. So B.Y.O.B is not bring your own beer, it's bring your own favorite beverage. So I wanted to share with you what it is that I'm drinking today. Okay, here it is. It's called Ningxia Red. You can see I drink this a lot. This is where, if you're wondering, where does Olivia get all her pep and energy? It's from this. And this is from Young Living Essential Oils. And this is a particular drink where it's essential oil infused wolfberry. Yes, wolfberry supplement. And it's super yummy. You drink like 2 ounces twice a day. That's what they recommend. But maybe sometimes I sneak in a third. So cheers. Yummy, 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 yummy. Now I'm ready. So, game on. I am super excited to introduce you today my colleague, Caitlin Johnson. So, Caitlin and I met just very recently, maybe a few months ago, through this amazing United States Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative. Yes, so we applied for their cohort this spring, and we're both in it, and it's taking us through all the channels, different foundation principles of setting up a successful business and learning entrepreneurship and networking with other women entrepreneurs, as well as learning from really key subject matter experts. We just heard from the budgetnista herself, Tiffany Aliche, and it was amazing. So she gave us like the whole rundown on like why we need to pay attention to our finances and budgets. And if it's one thing I've learned, it's no commingling of funds. Yes. So I think when you're just first starting on business, as I am, it's very easy just pay Olivia and pay my personal account. And it's so important now that all the money that I receive from training, from coaching, from live streaming, everything, that it goes into the pot, right? So the Savvy Social Pro Enterprises pot. So that is the main principle. And then from there, I can pay Olivia, the individual. So I've learned that now. I think I had a conceptual idea about it, but it's much different when you hear it from an expert and like really have that nudge to like, okay, it's time to get serious. It's time to put our game face on and do this. So without further ado, please help me welcome Caitlin Johnson. Ta-da! Hi,
Caitlin! Hi, Olivia. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so thrilled to have you. Again, Caitlin is the Master Certified Performance Coach and Consultant. Okay, her company is amazing. Her company is called Bold Bird and Consulting. Because you know why? She wants to embolden you. Yes, not empower, not equip, embolden you to rise above the daily grind and to have a really, truly meaningful career. So welcome, Caitlin. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much. It's exciting to be here and to just see your smiling face again and to have a really fantastic conversation about how we can continue to engage and have that fun part in our life and bring it into our career, bring it into where we spend most of our time during the day. I mean, it's pretty crazy to think we spend twice the amount of time at work than we do with our loved ones. So why not figure out how to gamify it and have some fun with it?
Exactly. When I was thinking about our topic today and thinking, the only thing I could think about was like the Rihanna song, work, 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 work. All I do is work, 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 work.
Right. It's true. It's true, especially when you're starting a business. So both of you and I know that can be pretty all-consuming.
And you're juggling. I mean, you're juggling not only your side hustle, your business, your job at the moment, right? Your consulting position, and then like your family. Yes. And managing 2 daughters. I mean, like, oh my gosh, like you are just juggling it at all.
Yes, trying to find the balance between the different buckets of life that we want to invest our time in, right? Our career, our personal interests, our family. I'm also an athletic. I try. Okay, I'm trying to find the best way to say this because I do a lot and I love doing a lot. I'm actually training for an half Ironman also. So I spend time training and coaching and leveling up and all those things. Anything having to do with achieving something, which is a gamification concept of a badge, a leaderboard, a finish line. Those are really inspirational for me and they motivate me. And so I strategically place some of those dangling carrots in my life so that I can find the joy in things. Otherwise, we just get our blinders on, we clock in and we clock out. And before you know it, the day's over, the month is over, the year is over, and what did we accomplish? Where do we feel the meaning and the value? So it's important to intentionally identify how you enjoy playing games and using that to inspire meaningful connection and meaningful experiences in your life.
And something else I want to ask you, if you come across this before, do you make a distinction between like job and career? Are there different parameters around each one?
There's probably some really great definitions out there. My personal view on it would be, that job you're in for right now, maybe the next year or two. If you think about bigger umbrella picture, that's your overall career. But I don't necessarily feel that career needs to be within one industry. I mean, we're not potted plants, right? We grow and we move on and we have new interests. And so as you go about your entire life, that big umbrella career is what I see that you've done through it all. And you just pivot through the different jobs within that career.
Well said. It looks like we've got some commentators coming on. Oh, Kathy! Oh my gosh. Kathy is my, sister and career mentor. So Kathy knows that. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I'm so glad to introduce you to my new colleague, Caitlin here. So awesome. So all of you who are tuning in, watching, welcome to the Get Your Happy On show. And we're going to be talking about gamification. So excellent. All right. And I'm curious, how did you even become like a performance coach? Like what drove you to kind of like dive into this field? And, I read your bio. I mean, you've coached over like 70,000 executives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been an impressive career and I'm not stopping here, right? I've got some big plans. Yeah, so how did I get into this? It's always the interesting story. So as I was in college and trying to figure out what do I want to do within my life, really trying to focus on what do I enjoy? Where do I find the value? And I was able to go into hospitality school at the University of Central Florida. They had a brand new campus at the time that I was there. And I was in a human resources course. And I really, really appreciated the information because I felt, knowing that we spend so much time at work than we do with our loved ones, how can I help advocate and create powerful work-life balance environments? And so I figured HR would be a good starting point for me with that. And I learned a lot. It's also a lot of paperwork. And so I like to engage a little bit more. So I found myself getting involved in the orientations and more speaking opportunities, training and upskilling. And then I eventually went into learning and development within the hospitality world. And I came across a phenomenal training called the 4 Disciplines of Execution that the hospitality company I was working for was using, and then joined that, helped roll that process out, and then needed to figure out how to sustain it so that we could continue to gain results within the organization. And that's how, after 9 going on 10 years, I was able to impact so many people globally. And it was through this upskills and training and development and execution training that I started to get into gamification. And so when you think of anything in life, we generally come across a plateau at some point. Like even if you think gamification, recreational games, if you're into a sport, after a while you get a little burnout and you plateau. So how can you continue to rise above that and keep going? And we found excellent results in incorporating fun. So Olivia, fun in the workplace, like do those two words go together? And so there's a bit of an educational component when you talk about gamification in the workplace, because some individuals feel like work is work and we need to be serious about it. And we're not here to play games. But the thing about it is, if you go about incorporating gamification techniques in the right way, there's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of ways to engage an individual intrinsically. And if you have the right finish line, the right reason to play, the right mission, then you can get the buy-in and you're purposefully playing a game to make a bigger impact within the organization and having fun while you're doing it. So there's so many ways you can use gamification to engage your associates within an organization and just make huge impacts.
Yes, I want to hear from the audience. Can you have fun at work? So, your thoughts on that. And, as I'm in the Humor Academy, right, this is my other cohort that I'm involved in this year. And we've been studying, all these different humor aspects. And for a long time, it started with Henry Ford. Even like whistling at work was like looked down upon. Like it was not acceptable. Like you had to just be a robot. Like you had to produce these numbers, produce however many widgets, and that was it. But I love what you said about, just feeling like having a gamification plan could make you feel more inspired and engaged at work.
Mm-hmm.
I remember and this is something you talk about all the time, beating your numbers and like getting a badge and getting awards. Because when I was working in recruiting, I'd always try to like beat my numbers as far as like how many placements I could make, et cetera, and how many jobs I could fill. Right. And I did play a little game with myself, and it made me like just, it just gave me a little bit something like a micro goal to work towards.
Right. Yeah. All right. So fun fact, I'm going to give you guys some information about game players, because I feel like if you can figure out what type of game player you are, then you can start to figure out how to motivate yourself intrinsically. Okay. So there are 4 types of game players. And this is research that was backed by a doctor from Britain, Richard Bartle, in 1996, who started to identify trends in the type of ways people like to play games. The first way that someone might like to play games is titled Killer. Now, not exactly a name that I probably would have chosen, but this type of game player, they're serious. They will figure out anything they can do to beat the competition. They may even figure out the workarounds and the way to manipulate around the game rules, because if it doesn't say it in the rules, then I can still use that tactic to play and win, right? So they're super competitive individuals. The second one is an achiever. And this is where I would place myself predominantly, anything having to do with a badge. Okay, so I have a Garmin watch, right? And so I told you earlier that I'm training for a triathlon. And in the Garmin watch, every month, there's new badges of, walk 300,000 steps by the end of the month. And I'm like, yes, sign me up. Nobody sees these badges but me, but I use that to help motivate, right? So you're going after the achievement, the title, the badge, being first in the leaderboard. The third player type is a socializer. So these individuals enjoy playing games with others. They may pick a game that also has a chat feature in it. Goodness, you could look at LinkedIn Live right now with us. We're on and we're socializing, we're learning new things, and we're creating meaningful connections. Isn't that a bit of a game? And then the last one is explorer. So this individual, they know the finish line, And as they're going towards how to finish playing and winning the game, all of a sudden, if something over here pops up and there's a new quest or challenge or something shiny, they want to go figure that out. And so if you can identify which of those 4 player types you mostly identify with, you can play with it and identify, well, what would be a motivating way to inspire me? If you're feeling stuck and bored in a certain situation, if you relate to being an achiever, maybe you can say like, hey, by Friday, I'm going to go get myself that Starbucks coffee drink that I haven't had in a long time. Pumpkin, what is the pumpkin latte from Starbucks? It's almost that season, right? If you're a socializer and you're feeling a little antsy or bored at work, maybe you just kind of send a ping or pick up the phone and go get that burst of energy through collaborating with somebody and then continue on with the rest of your projects. So there's so many fascinating ways you can think about being hyper focused and competitive, being that achiever, looking for social opportunities, or exploring new projects.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you for revealing that little nugget for us. So what type of game player are you? So are you taking notes? If you're taking notes, we want to know from you which of those 4 types that Caitlin has just mentioned, and let us know in the comments right now. So drop in the comments which one you are: killer, achiever, socializer, or explorer. I think I'm the socializer.
I would think so. I mean, that's how we met, Olivia. So
excellent. And that's so funny that you bring this up because I didn't realize I was doing it. So, for example, all week I've been like working really, really hard, and then I like made an appointment to call up my friend who's like, "Hey, do you want to go grab dinner?"
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't even realize I was doing that as a way to like, hey, rewarding myself for having like a really super productive week.
Right. And then you did it with a friend without even thinking about it. Yeah.
About it. Like I didn't sit down like, okay, Olivia, if you accomplish XYZ, go have a coffee date or go meet up with a friend. I just naturally did it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So here's an interesting spin to think about it too, because we just thought about it in, a rewarding situation. So if you're sitting within, your particular job right now and you are feeling stuck, and then you think about, okay, let's kind of spice this up a little bit. What kind of game player am I? If you're Olivia, if you're the socializer and you realize that you're working remote, you appreciate the benefits of working remote, but don't have that one-on-one interaction and you're missing that, you might want to rethink, do I want to go back into the office? Or, maybe you don't at all, but what could you do outside of office hours to then give yourself that, socializing aspect? So you can use this also to think about, how do I spend my day? And where could I inspire some motivation, interesting fun even within the day based on how I like to play games?
And can you have more than one game player type? Like, can you have a combo? Could you be like a killer explorer?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's usually a dominant field that you will just naturally lean to, but you can certainly bounce around. I've been actually thinking I may lean a little bit more towards socializer these days, as building a business and coaching specifically. I really appreciate getting to know other people. I really enjoy listening to their stories and how I can help them make sense, find the trends, find the commonalities of what they're experiencing in life in order to be able to create a strategy moving forward. And so just the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought of myself as the socializer and a game player component and aspect, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm pivoting a little bit.
That is awesome. So if you're just tuning in to watch this Get Your Happy On show, we're talking with Caitlin Johnson from Bold Bird Consulting Incorporated, and she's a performance coach, and we are talking about gamification at work. So how to feel inspired again and engage at work. And I know that you reference this book a lot. The Game of Work.
Thank you.
And so you had mentioned like Charles Coonrod is known as the grandfather of gamification. So what
Mhm.
like inspired you about this book? Like what do you feel has been like the most salient points to incorporate into your coaching?
Yeah, so this book is fantastic, and it's a slightly different spin on gamification because I talked about game player types. And in this book, The Game of Work, he goes through how you can relate work environments to recreational games specifically. And so when he thinks about, and he was comparing, why do we enjoy recreational games so much and then, struggle within the workplace? How can you maybe mirror the two? And so when he looked at recreational games, he found 5 key things that we can replicate and put into the workplace that are really pretty simple. We just have to be intentional about it. So the first thing he found was that in recreational games, there is a clearly defined goal. If you're watching football, basketball, hockey, insert your favorite recreational game, what the goal is in order to win, right? Get the most points, and then you usually know how to go about scoring. So the goal itself is very clear. The second is there is a scoreboard that's super simple to read and find out who's winning. So you're keeping score and you know how to read the score. The second is there's a lot of feedback provided. There's feedback from the coaches, the multiple coaches you might have. There's feedback from your players. There's feedback from the crowd watching you. And so you can then identify, are you on the right track to winning or not? You can even think like your body provides you feedback at that point of how you're performing. The fourth aspect is choice in the sense of you want to play. And because you want to play, you're then doing the actions and the behaviors that you need in order to be successful. So by identifying, clear goals in the workplace, like this is our purpose, this is our mission, this is what we're going to do to be successful this year, and we're going to keep track of it, and we're going to communicate how we're doing based on our goal. And we really want you to be able to be part of that and feel that you're contributing. And so we're going to provide you feedback as we're going along as well. And so if you have found a company that you appreciate their products and services, you appreciate their mission and values, you will feel more bought in to that goal. And you'll make the choice to say, yes, I want to contribute to this. And yes, I want to play and help the company achieve their objectives. So the last piece, because I had mentioned 4, right? Clear goal, a scoreboard for tracking, consistent feedback on how you're doing, and making the choice to play. The 5th one is coaching, consistent coaching. So there's usually a leader that will be providing you feedback, right, on if you're performing the way that you should be. Generally, organizations have that, annual review. You might even have colleagues or peers giving you feedback as well. So if we can take all of those components that are part of recreational gaming and put that as a framework into the workplace, then we're gamifying it in that sense.
Amazing. And that was one of the quotes that was in the book that I came across is like, why do we spend so much money on scoreboards? The jumbotrons.
And they're huge. Yeah, they're huge.
And I love it. And I think you brought up a good point too. Like we have to learn how to read the scoreboard.
Right. Mm-hmm. You need to know if you are on the right track or not. And then if you're not, what do you go do about it? At that point, you're going to be looking for feedback. You might go to your coach to say, hey, we're struggling. Or, you might collect feedback from customers. There are so many ways that, by looking at the results, you can then back into it to figure out what part of your strategy is off and how can we course correct.
Yes, I think it's a fantastic book. It's something that I reference again and again because there's so many good strategies in there, especially with like the resources to ratio element.
Yeah.
and just
Mhm.
determining, how effective am I utilizing my resources and time, etc. Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this brand new 5-day Game On Level Up Career Challenge that we're going to be doing in another week or so. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about that?
Yes.
How
Okay.
to get started, and then we've got some slides to share.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So I'll give you a little backstory. All right, you know my history with gamification and my passion for it and how we can leverage it in our personal and professional career lives. So recently I offered my time on LinkedIn and I spoke with over 40 different individuals who are actively looking for a job. And so many of these have found themselves in a laid off position, or they're just unemployed right now and looking for their next thing. And so as I was talking with them, understanding their story, asking them questions about, well, what would you like to do next? What seems interesting to you? There was usually a general broad stroke answer, but it was usually followed up with, but I'm open. I'm looking for what will fit for me. I'm like, well, what do you think that looks like? They're like, and most of the time they don't, right? And that's why they're talking to me, which is great, because that gives me the opportunity to say, well, how do you want to go about figuring that out? What does, a purposeful, meaningful work look like for you? And the answer for them usually was, I want to be helpful. I just want to find some way to contribute and be helpful. It's the how that's a little bit tricky in identifying. And so as I started to realize this trend, I thought, oh my gosh, let's apply gamification to build a map and figure out how to introspectively dig in to find out what you are passionate about doing, what you love doing, what you like doing, what you can get paid to do, figure out the combination, understand your values, and really start to dig into what does a meaningful work environment look like for you. So that's where the 5-day challenge has come about, and launching on August 29th, and Olivia is going to be helping coordinate all of it with me. We're going to have a 5-day challenge, Game On, Level Up Your Career, using gamification as a framework to really figure out how you want to play your career in your next move.
I love it because I think about how, like in our lifetimes, perhaps, when we first started working, we took any old job.
Any
Right?
job. Yeah.
Like I remember being like 15, it's like I'll do anything, like whatever,
Yeah.
because I was trying to save up money for like a car, right? And then as time went on, just trying to find a career that would like pay the bills, instead of just like make ends meet, living paycheck to paycheck. And then only until like maybe recently when I got like a stronger foundation, like my skills, doing professional development, personal development, it's like, no, I really want to like be in this field of like recruiting and staffing, for example, and like get promoted from within, rise up, rank up, etc. Right. And
Mhm.
then, but then feeling like burnt out because maybe there's misalignment somewhere. Like my values and the company values weren't matching up. So I think that's where you come in, where you can help us like really define like, okay, who are you, Olivia? Like, what do you envision your ideal workspace to be? Even your ideal team.
Mhm.
And instead of like applying to any old job, first thing that hits your mailbox, why not just be more intentional, having like a wish list of like companies that you want, or companies or managers that you want to work for?
You're exactly right. And this is a long game strategy, right?
Long
So yeah, now and there may be opportunities where you have to take that bridge job. And when I say bridge job, I mean the job that you accept right now in order to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. So don't take it as like I'm giving up and I'm just accepting whatever job comes across, my email. If you need that job financially, take it, and learn what you can learn in that opportunity. That's your bridge so that you can continue to buy some time for yourself to identify, what are my values? What are my strengths? Where do I feel I will fit in and have that sense of belonging, and go through the introspective self-knowing process to then be able to come out on the other side with a strong idea. Because that's the thing you said, it's hard to define. It's the vocabulary. Like if I was to sit here and say, can you tell me, your strengths and weaknesses, right? It's everyone's most disliked question, I think, when we're in interviews. What are your strengths and weaknesses? And how do you answer that? And then you feel like you have to answer it a certain way, right? But if you were to be honest with yourself, can you, in 3 to 4 words, say what your strengths are? Can you adamantly and confidently say, these are my weaknesses? Not that you would, necessarily provide that in the interview, but to be aware to stay away from. Like, I don't want a job that's going to require me to use those skills because those are exhausting skills for me. I want to use the skills that fuel me and invigorate me and come natural to me, because that is where meaning is for me in my life.
Oh, excited. Oh my gosh, so wonderful. I'm so excited for this because not only are you going to be walking us through this roadmap and strategy, but you're bringing in some like key players, like your co-facilitators. And so I'm going to share the screen now so you can talk to us about each of the facilitators you have invited to bring on for each day. This is 5 days straight, like nonstop, like game takes on. So here we go. Let me share the screen. All right, Caitlin, take it away.
All right, so here's the preview of day 1, 2, and 3. So in order to know where you're going, you need to build a map, okay? So when we think about games, there's always a reason to play, an epic meaning or calling. There's a purpose to it, especially when you think about digital games. So on day 1, we're going to work on building your career map using purpose mapping. And I have 2 really special and Sarah Tenler. And Jim, I have known for over 10 years, and I'm proud to call him my mentor. And he was the one that actually introduced me to this concept of building a purpose map. And through this mapping, you can start to connect the dots of where you want to go. What's your path forward? Day 2, we're going to then talk about your career avatar, creating your career avatar. So what do I mean by that? Well, your career avatar, you could see as that individual that of you at work. Like, who are you? How do you show up? What are your skills? What are your values? What are all of the pieces of you that you bring to the workplace? So we're going to work on naming them and identifying them. And I have Adam Pingle, who's the VP of Global Clients at Ariel Group, joining me to talk about this topic. On day 3, we're going to look at then how do you level up your career avatar? So you could initially think leveling up by upskilling and things along those lines. And that's one aspect that you could go through, and that's a route you could go. But we're actually going to talk about leveling up your career avatar by your marketability, looking at your resume, looking at your LinkedIn profile. Are both of those resources truly demonstrating your strengths and values? Are they accurately representing your avatar? And so joining with me is Dustin Dale, executive coach and founder of Beyond the Horizon, who will be sharing tips and tricks about resume writing as well as your LinkedIn profile. And then on day 4, we're going to go to, and I'll just wait for the slide to switch, unless, Olivia, you want to talk about days 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you. So day 4, we're going to go into identifying your teammates and your opponents. Okay, so your teammates, those are going to be the people in your court. These are going to be the people that you can reach out to and start networking with. They're also going to be new networks. So how can you identify people that you can start networking with to help you level up? Conversely, how do you effectively communicate about yourself so that you can differentiate yourself from your opponents? So on this day, we're going to work on a me in 30-second elevator pitch. We're going to go over a format. We're going to help you fine-tune how you're confidently and concisely talking about yourself in less than 30 seconds. On the last day, we're going to talk about conquering and accomplishing the side quests. So now that you've got your map, you understand who you are, you have some amazing skills and talents, you understand how to communicate about yourself, and you have your marketing tools ready. What are the next key actions that you need to do between now, the next 30 days, or continuing through for the rest of your life to help you continue to level up your career? So we're going to invite Jeffrey Downs and Talon David, who are part of this amazing gamification concept called streaking. So Jeffrey Downs and Jamie Downs are authors of a book called Streaking, and it's not the type you think. It's actually consistently and consecutively completing an action to help you become who you want to become, a better version of you, right? So we'll be talking about how do you work on becoming that version of you by taking laughably simple actions. We're all very familiar with habits, right? And how tough they are to create and also hard to break. Streaking is one laughably simple thing every day or every week. So we're going to talk about how you can leverage that gamification concept to help you move forward within your career. And then there we go. We'll piece all those pieces together and then game on. You are ready and you have a path forward and you have some really clear actions to help you go from feeling stuck where you are right now to having a plan to help you move forward.
Awesome. And I just want to remind everyone, there is a QR code. So talk about gamification, QR code on the screen. So go ahead, whip up those cell phones and scan the QR code. And that's going to take you right to the registration page. Super easy, super fun. Very hands-on and interactive. Thank you, Caitlin, for that amazing run through of 5 days. I mean, it's going to be intense. It's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be informational. And plus, you have some Easter eggs.
Yes, I do. Thank you for mentioning that. I mean, it's not a game if there isn't extra fun thrown in there too, right? So yeah, every day there's going to be an amazing prize that could range anywhere from $15 all the way up to $500. So yes, you'll want to join on each day. Each day there will be a fun prize offered. This is a week you don't want to miss. I mean, if you have been thinking for a long time that there has got to be more to life than this, and you are ready to take the actions for change, but aren't sure what those actions are, right? Then yes, click the QR code and register to attend this event, because you will, I promise you will have light bulb moments going off with a new and invigorating way to look at how to move forward in your career. You know, that's the thing, Olivia, the world is ready for this because we've been through a lot. And, you know, you can say great resignation, great reset, great realization, you know, all these great words. It's time to figure out what your version of great is. But here's the thing, those questions, you know, they're hard to figure out. They're very internal, they're very personal, and you have to do the deep intentional digging to figure it out. So why not invest 45 minutes a day for a week to figure out how to think a little differently and have some fun with it.
And don't do it alone, right? Be in community with other, you know, like-minded career seekers or, you know, mid-level professionals looking for their career boost, or even be in community with the coaches, right? You don't have to do it alone. I mean, like, these are trained professionals to help you.
Right. Yep.
Get out of the grind.
That's exactly right. And now you saw Olivia's socializer come out again.
I love any excuse to gather people together, right? Especially now virtually, virtual spaces. And I love all these great acronyms, great meanings that you've come up with. And I think, like you said, it's time for the great ownership revolution, right? Take ownership of who you are, who you want to become, and then who you want to see yourself. So taking ownership.
You're exactly right. Like, we have to be our own advocates right now because, as individuals, we want meaningful work. We want to do something that's contributing to something bigger, right? Corporations haven't quite caught up yet to how to support us to connect that. So we need to be able to do the work to figure out what that means to us so that we can go into an organization and be very clear about our mission, our values, make sure that they align with the company's values, and we're doing our part to be able to contribute to something bigger.
Oh, I love it. The more you talk about it, the more excited I am. And it's like, we got still another week.
Yes, we've got 11 more days counting down. So yeah, August 29th, we're going to go live with this.
Counting down. So game face on. And, I want to give a special bonus right now. If you're watching this live stream, if you're watching this on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, I want to know, please drop in the comments right now, or even on replay. If you're watching this later on #replay, right? Tell Caitlin, what is your game player type? Okay, which type of game player are you? Caitlin did amazing run through of the 4 types: killer, achiever, explorer, socializer. So I want you to know which one of those you are, and I want to offer a special prize. And that may be we send you this book. So we will send you a copy of this book. Okay, and so please, that is our version of having fun on this live stream and giving back and socializing, right? So if you let us know right now which game player are you, I will go ahead and order and send out these books to you, The Game of Work. How's that for a prize? Woo!
I love it. I was going to say, can I add on to that prize, Olivia?
Oh my gosh. Okay. What do you got for us, Caitlin?
All right. So whoever it is that gets to win that book, I offer an opportunity to have a conversation, a free coaching session to help you take your game player and make sense of it. What does that mean? And how do you apply it into the workforce? And we can have a dynamic, amazing conversation about how to gamify your career.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's on so many elements, right? So if you're a killer, like you want to go after it, like the book, we've got you covered. If you're the achiever, oh my gosh, how do I sit down with mapping out a strategy with a coach like Caitlin? We've got you covered. If you're a socializer, you just want to make a new friend.
Yeah, let's just talk. Yeah.
And then if you're an explorer, maybe you've never heard of this book before. Maybe you've never had these conversations with yourself about how you can make work interesting and fun, or even your career. How many times has a career hunt felt like a job?
Oh my gosh.
Looking at the job was a job by itself.
Well, and here's the thing. It's a job when you don't know what you're looking for, because you're all over the place, right? So if you can narrow your focus, if you can fine tune what you offer, your values, your strengths, your innate talents, then you know what you're going after. And at that point, couldn't it be fun? You're looking up job titles that are like, yes, I would like to do that work. I could see myself doing it. And so it feels like a grind when you don't have clarity on what you're amazing at. Trying to find our zone of genius, it takes some time to figure it out. But then once you've got it, just the world opens up with opportunities because you can see them now.
Exactly. Woo! Okay, so once again, answer our question and win our prizes. Awesome. So once again, find out how to get in touch with Caitlin and myself. So you can visit Caitlin's website. Here it is. And you can also connect with her on LinkedIn. So she is an amazing network on LinkedIn. I mean, I just love the post that you made for me, like after attending one of my Laughter Yoga sessions. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible. Like you are such a giver, like just giving me a recommendation and testimonial and then really helping me promote out Laughter Yoga Club. And I really appreciate that. So if she can do that for me, she can do it for you too. So please make sure that you are connecting with Caitlin on LinkedIn. I'm going to pop her link here on the screen in just a moment. And then, of course, you want to sign up. Sign up today for our 5-day challenge. And it's free.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, we forgot to mention it's free.
It's free.
Yeah. So, I mean, East Coast, join us for lunch. West Coast, join us to kick off your day. Let's do this.
Yes, QR code. If you didn't notice, it's right here. Go ahead and scan. Please scan and let us know because at least like you can tell us if it works.
It works.
Please scan and let us know it works. So anyway, we'd love to see you on there. And so please answer the question, which game player are you? And then we will be sending out to you a copy of this book, The Game of Work. And Caitlin's going to throw on top of that a free coaching session with her as well too. So I mean, so many excellent surprise goodies for you and so much value. So before we end this live stream, we always got to do my favorite segment of the show, which is rapid fire question time.
I'm ready.
So here we go, 21 rapid fire questions. And this is my version of playing a game, right? So let me see here. Let me get this ready. You ready, Caitlin?
I'm ready. My heart is beating. You know, my achiever is like, I got to nail all these questions.
All right, here we go. So let me just make sure. Okay, if you guys are missing the link, we want to make sure that you register. No excuses, right? This is the time for no excuses. So sign up right now. Sign up today. Okay, so here we go. Rapid fire question time.
Okay.
What did you have for breakfast?
Oatmeal.
Do you put any toppings on that oatmeal?
Yeah, I have blueberries and almonds. I have this every morning. Every morning.
Okay. Would you like to be in a cover of a Wheaties cereal box?
Yes. With my brand new bike. As I cross the finish line for my triathlon.
Do you have a favorite exercise equipment?
Ooh, yeah, actually, I think it would be my bike right now. So I have a trainer at home that I can put my bike on. And oh, Olivia, I use Zwift, ZWIFT, which is a platform for runners or cyclists. And it's gamification. You can sign up and do different courses and you get badges. Oh my gosh, I have so much fun.
You're all about the badge. You know what? We need to create a badge for those who complete the 5-day challenge.
I thought about that. Right?
Oh, yeah. We need to carry a bold bird badge.
Yeah.
Cool. Like a shield. Yes.
Love it.
Let's do it. Okay. So you would get a badge for every day that you complete.
Ooh.
Right? So if you're doing day 1, you get a badge. Day 2, day 3, day 4, 5. Okay. And maybe there'll be another special prize if you do all day 5.
Ooh, I like that.
I keep thinking of things. I don't know why.
It's fun. So, oh my gosh, it's fun, Olivia. See, that it makes it innovative. When you loosen up and have fun, you can be more yourself and it's just a beautiful thing. That's what we want, right? Is to be authentic and real.
Absolutely. Okay, serious question now.
Okay.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Oh my. Neither. They have too much junk in them. Oh. I forget the name. I have a very simple version with simple ingredients. Oh man, I forget the name of what it's called, but I have a version of it. So sorry, Gatorade. Sorry, Powerade. I'll do my own
thing. Have your girls ever said you're having too much fun?
Oh gosh, probably. My girls are 11 and 13. So they're probably like, Mom, what were you laughing about so much on there? Or you're talking. They usually say I talk too much.
Now, do you remember yourself as an 11-year-old?
Ooh. I'm pretty sure I was awkward.
So there was a nickname. Well, you had to I remember you saying that you couldn't say your own name. So what did you call yourself?
Wait, me? Oh, okay. Yes, I remember. Oh, this goes back. Okay, so my maiden name is Sweetnam. And so Caitlin Sweetnam. So I would call myself Cakin Sweepin. Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite outdoor activity?
I had like 5 things flash across my brain. So triathlons, hiking, camping. Well, that wasn't 5 things. Well, I guess it's 5 things because there's 5 sports, or 3 sports rather, in triathlons, and then add hiking and camping. So there you go.
Okay, what's one thing you do not reveal on a job interview?
My personal life. They don't need to know that.
All right. So what are 3 things I would find in the laundry room?
A lot of towels, laundry soap, and lint. Okay, so all the lint that comes out of the dryer, I save, and then we create for camping. We put the lint inside of old the rolls of toilet paper, and then we seal it with wax, and it becomes a little like lighter that you can light your whole fire pit with.
What?
Yeah, there's a DIY on this. So I have a plastic bag full of lint. Yeah.
Save your lint, everyone. Save your lint. You may need it to make a fire. So instead of like gathering little sticks to make a fire, you just
Yes, it's like kindling. So yeah, you get the toilet paper roll, you stuff it with lint, and you get some wax, and you close it up on both ends and light it on fire.
you just never know what you're going to learn on the Get You Happy on show. Just never know. Never know what's going to come out with the guests. Oh my god. Can you gamify homework?
Ooh. Well, yeah, I would say what's your game player type, and then what would motivate you, and then you've got a finish line.
Okay, so analyze your daughters and your husband. Which game player type are they?
Ooh, okay, let's see. Actually, I would say my husband is a killer. He will figure out how to win and work around the system. And I think both of my daughters are achievers.
Like their mama.
Yeah, I think so. But they're still young, so who knows? They're developing their characteristics now, right?
Absolutely. Awesome. Favorite chore?
Washing the dishes.
What?
Yeah, I would rather wash the dishes than cook.
Okay, so who does the cooking then? Your husband?
Yes, thank goodness, my husband.
That's awesome. Okay. Least favorite chore, not cooking.
Least favorite is cleaning the bathrooms.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to outsource that one.
Got 2 daughters.
That's right.
Okay. Let me see what else here. What is your favorite meal that your husband has made?
Oh, anything Italian. Yes. And I'm talking good pasta, not, like the $1 worth of pasta at the store in the box, like good semolina made pasta with simple ingredients. There's usually 4 or 5 things in it, and it's amazing.
Okay, it has to be like artisanal.
Yes.
Awesome. Where are you planning your next family vacation?
Man, we've got a couple ideas. I would love to go to the Northeast in the fall and see the leaves. I would love to go back to Europe and visit probably Italy again. We're huge explorers. If I was to label our entire family as a game player, we kind of all bucket into explorers.
That is fantastic. I can see like everybody come up with like the itinerary.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we have detailed Excel spreadsheet itineraries.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. The sound you make when you accidentally step on a Lego.
just instinctual. That is pain that's almost unexplainable. Oh.
Because I bet there's a lot.
Oh gosh, yes. Yes, we are a Lego family and we love it.
Fantastic. Lego, are you hearing that? The Johnsons are a Lego family. Please bring them to Lego Park.
Yes.
All right. What is your quiet time we get your most business done?
4 a.m. in the morning. Usually when you and I are messaging each other, Olivia.
Who wants to join the 4 a.m. club? Anyone? Anyone?
Yep. We are usually awake and bubbly and thinking a mile a minute at that time. So if you're a morning person, get on board.
Okay. Say your mission statement as if it was a mile a minute right now. Go.
I embolden individuals to rise above the daily grind so they can feel impactful work.
Nice job.
Something like that.
What is your favorite work memory?
When I got involved in gamification, because the leader was so absolutely authentic, and his mission was to inspire the hearts and minds of individuals, and that was the reason why he wanted to try using gamification. And we've tried it for 6 or 7 years, and every single time it works. It works by increasing your results and associate engagement.
Nice. And what has been your favorite company to work for?
I've only worked for a handful of organizations, but the one that I spent the most time with that is very dear to my heart is Marriott International.
Excellent. Okay. And what is Marriott famous for? Like, what would you say? Like, what is their distinctive hotel brand?
Oh, well, we have a lot of brands. I say we, I still feel like I'm part of them. And in many ways I am. So to me, as a person who frequents Marriott's, it's the consistency. I know what to expect when I walk into a Marriott.
Ah, very nice. Awesome. Well, Caitlin, ta-da! You have earned the Get You Happy On badge for completing 55 questions.
Yes, I did it. And it was fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on with me today, Caitlin. I'm so excited to collaborate with you. Big shout out. I just want to give a big shout out to USA WEC, Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative. I mean, this has been such a game changer, like you said.
Absolutely.
For you and for me to be able to connect. And there's 150 of us. So I'm trying to make my way around.
Yeah.
But it's been fantastic.
Absolutely. We're learning so much and connecting with amazing people and just feeling so empowered by the support that we're feeling from this group. It's fantastic.
Yes, I encourage all of you who are watching, if you've not heard of the CGE before and not heard of the Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative, please visit the websites on the screen here and look into how you can apply for the next cohort. I mean, it is such an amazing program. And I love the mission of how they want to have more women entrepreneurs here in the US. So yeah, we are here for each other. Excellent. Well, thank you again for all of you for watching the Get You Happy On show. And please look below. This is the sign up link for the 5-day. It's free 5-day Game On Level Up Your Career Challenge. You can click on here, or you can go to the QR code that's over there. Well, Caitlin, get a point because it's above your head.
It's above my Legos, people. Above my Legos.
Yes. Above the Legos. Hey, I'm going to spotlight you so you can do that again. Ready? Here we go. Above the Legos.
Yeah, the QR code above the Legos.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for just playing along, Caitlin. I love you for that. So please, everyone, visit Caitlin's website for more information here and find out about her signature program. She has a signature coaching program, and see if it's a good fit for you. And then also, please connect with her on LinkedIn. And so this is where you'll find her. And yes, she will respond to you at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, I will.
All right, Caitlin, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much.
Thanks for everyone. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching Get Your Happy On. Have you enjoyed today's episode? I invite you to comment. So please share with us your thoughts and ideas in the comments. We'll be checking and would love to reply back to you. Please also connect. Connect with each of our amazing special guests and connect with each other here in the comments as well. This is a great way to network and to make new friends. And finally, collaborate. I would love to find ways to collaborate with you or help you to find collaborations with vast people in my network. So remember, comment, connect, and collaborate. Thank you again. See you next week.